What's up, everyone? Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Chris. So in today's video, I am going to discuss how to melt wax. It's the safer way than burning a candle. And it's pretty straightforward for the most part, but so if I just give a quick overview for people who have never warmed wax before, talk about what forms it comes in and the warmers that you would put it in. I'm doing this video because I had a request on another video on actually how to melt the wax. I had already done a video on how we take the wax out of our dishes, and I thought that's what she had wanted to see, but then she reiterated that she didn't understand how to melt wax, so I thought and asked if I would do a video. So I'm going to try to do that tonight, and so I have a warmer here. It's not plugged in or anything, but it's a warmer just to kind of use for demonstration purposes, and some different kinds of wax. So let me go ahead and get everything set up, and we'll go ahead and get started. I'm back. I think I have everything I need here. So first, wax. Wax is the safer alternative to fragrancing our home. I know myself, I have left candle burning in the house and forgotten. So yeah, and then I was introduced to Scentsy, and I was like, oh, this is like a godsend to me because now I don't have to worry about it. Okay, so Scentsy bars come in a clam, and these are what we call cubes. Okay, and they break apart quite easily. You just pop it out of the clam, and it just pops right out, and you could just break them. I typically use, depending on the area I'm in, I typically use 1 to 2 cubes of warmer. What is a warmer? This is an example of a warmer. Okay, they're beautiful decorative pieces in your home. This is the dish that the wax cubes will go in, and inside there is a bulb. When you plug it in and turn it on, the bulb turns on. It sits on top. The dish gets warm, and it melts the wax down. When the melt wax down, the scent comes out of the wax and rises through the air and scents the home. So if I want to use a Scentsy cube, how I do it easier is I just take and I do this and this, and when I open it up, it's already cracked. And then I could take it like this, pop it out. Here's the dish, and you put it in the warmer. You set it back on top of here, and this will melt down in approximately, when the warmer's on, if it's already hot, it takes 5 to 10 minutes. And typically, I can't even say, because every home is different. Okay, you need to find your sweet spot. How much wax for my living room? How many warmers do you have? I have a lot of warmers in my living room, so typically in my living room I will use 1 whole clam, and I will disperse 1 cube to a warmer throughout the living room. You may have 1 warmer in your living room, and if you have 1, I would put probably 2 cubes in. And if you feel like, oh gee, I want a little more scent than that, then I would use 3. We do not add wax to wax that's old. So what I mean by that is if you've got your wax and it's been melting maybe 7 hours, 8 hours, and you feel like the scent's dying down, you don't add wax to the existing wax that's already melted. And the reason for that is it's like having a glass of pop or soda that's gone, that the carbonation is gone, and you add new soda to it. It's not going to make the pop in that glass taste better because it's already diluted down and it's lost its carbonation. Same with the wax in the dish. It's already started to lose its scent. So by putting this in there, you're ruining the scent, the fragrance. It's not going to give you more throw. If you're trying to mix it into wax that's already been warmed for 7-8 hours. So if you feel like it's not throwing anymore, you would dump it out. I have another video that I just did. I'll put it up here if I remember to do it. And that video, I explain how we take the wax out of our warmers. Again, everybody's nose is different. Everybody's home is different. Airflow, size of your rooms. I can't tell you how much wax you need. You have to kind of go with your own instincts. Yeah, that's it. It's there's no right or wrong on how much you use throughout the room. If you want a ton of scent, then by all means have 13 warmers going and use 2 clams of wax, and then you're probably going to blow the roof off your house. But it's all a matter of preference. Every wax, I find, even with Scentsy wax, some fragrances I can get, my gosh, I can get like almost 2 days going out of it. And I do keep my warmers on 24/7. I don't shut them off. So when I say 2 days, I'm talking a full 48 hours where it's just constantly going. And it just depends on the scent. Some scents, I find that the bakery doesn't last as long as more of the perfumed notes or florals. I find that those last longer. I find that. That's what I find in my house. Vendor wax is a whole other animal. It doesn't have the same, and this is Parasoy. No, I'm sorry, I think it's a paraffin blend. Or paraffin wax? Can't remember. I'm a Scentsy consultant and I forgot. I didn't, yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, then there's vendor wax. So say you want to try something different. You want to try a new scent, and you want to try to dip your toe into the vendor waxes. Vendor wax is just wax that is made by people who are running businesses, whether it be out of their home or a separate location, and they pour their own wax, they scent their own wax, they create their own blends, and they can come in different forms. They may already be in little cubes. You know, you open the bag, pop the cube out, or 2, depending. Usually with something like this, this happens to be Rose Girls, I will use, I don't even want to say. I don't know. They're a good size cube. 1, maybe 2, depending on the scent. Going by this scent, it's a strong scent. I would probably use 1 to start. And if after a half hour or so, I feel like, I think it's going to need more, I will add some more to it. You can do that when it's only been melting a half an hour. Like, you know, just when it's been melting for a length of time, you don't want to add wax to wax that's been melting for a long time. So it may already come chopped for you. All right, then it may come in what vendors call soufflés. Okay, this needs to be chopped. It may come in a tub. This also needs to be chopped. As you see, it's already taken out. So one of the questions the viewer had was, how do you chop it? Well, this is what I do, or it depends. Sometimes I use a cutting mat if I'm in my kitchen. If I'm just sitting here and working, I'm just need a couple pieces. I should get a paper plate, take this out of the tub, like so. And you get these crinkle cutters, okay? You can get them on Amazon. They're only a couple dollars. This is a small one. This is a large one. You would want a large one if you're going to cut a loaf, because some wax come in loaves, like a bread loaf pan, okay? So that you would want a bigger. But if it's small, and typically you're going to want about a half an ounce to an ounce of wax per warmer. You don't need a scale. You can get a scale and use a digital food scale if you like. I've done that. I pretty much know how much I'm going to need. So you're just going to take this and just like that, and you're just going to push down, and you have a cube of wax. I might cut some of that off. I don't know. But I might take some of that off and not use quite as much. But that's how you would chop the wax. But like I said, it's about a half an ounce to an ounce you would want. So if you look at a Scentsy cube, so here's a cube. You maybe want something right around the same size chunk as a Scentsy cube if you're going to use vendor wax, maybe a little more. You would be your own best judge for that, of how much you feel you're going to need in your warmer. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I could tell you. There are two types. Well, there's actually more than two types of warmers. I just showed you the bulb warmer, okay? This is a bulb warmer. When you turn it on, this lights up. It's beautiful. Again, dish, bulb. Takes a 25-watt bulb. I wouldn't recommend anything in a bulb warmer. I wouldn't recommend anything less than 25 watts. I find 25 watts or more works best. There is what is called an element warmer. I do not have one handy. My element warmers are plugged in right now, so I don't have one to show. But basically, an element warmer, instead of this being hollow like this, it would have like, it would be flat and it would be black, and it's like a hot plate. So when you turn that on, it would heat up and get hot. And on top of that would sit a dish. So the heating element underneath the dish will warm the dish, which will melt your wax. The other option is what they call tea lights. I don't use tea lights because, again, that's a flame, and I just don't want that in my home anymore. And you know what, too, with the candles also, they release soot into the air. It gets on your walls. It's just, it's not a healthy option. It's why it's another reason I like the wax. I don't want all that soot going on my walls and in the air that I'm breathing. So there's these, they're called tea lights. And those are very decorative little, like this could, it would be smaller than this. Tea lights are a little smaller, but maybe they're ceramic and they have a little recessed area at the top. But the back would have a cutout in it. And you know the little tea lights, candles that you would put, I don't know, like the floating, they float in the water at weddings and stuff. You would put one of those in the back of your tea light warmer, light the wick, in it, the flame, and that gets hot and it gets the area at the top hot and melts the wax. So that's all I could really tell you about how to melt wax. I showed you, you just chop it with a cheese cutter or a crinkle cutter. You could also, with some wax, this is Teddy B's, it's soft enough you could use a knife to cut it. A lot of people use a, like a cheese, oh, is it a cheese grate? No, not a grater. Like, you could, like, think of it like a potato peeler. You could just shave the wax off, but I'd rather have the chunks than shavings of wax. But, yeah, so, like I said, there's some of them are already cut into cubes. Scentsi's already pre-cubed. You just break it. You know, you didn't have to do it the way I do it. Like I said, I always just break it like this, and this way my cubes are already ready. You could take the bar out and physically break it. It breaks very easily. Tea light warmer, element warmers, and bulb warmers will all melt wax. They're all meant to melt wax. And, you know, there's other methods too. There's a candle crock method. I don't do that. I'm not real familiar with that. I think basically if you had a candle crock and an empty candle jar, you would just put some of your wax in there and put it into the crock and melt it that way. I have not done that, so I can't speak to it. So yeah, that's pretty much the basics of melting wax. So if you have any questions, if you're still unsure how you melt wax, please comment in the comment section below and I will be sure to answer your comment. I did answer you on the other 2 comments you left, so I don't know if you saw that or not. Yeah, I think that's about it. I hope I didn't miss anything. And again, to clean the wax out of the dishes, I will try to link that up here to the video that I did on cleaning the wax out, or to, you know, change the wax and so you can put new wax in. Okay, so I hope again that I covered it for you. Yeah, I think that's all. I feel like I'm missing something. I hope I'm not missing anything, but I feel like I am, but I don't think I am. It's pretty cut and dry. Just put the wax in the dish and let it melt. All right. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. I appreciate the time you take out of your day, your lives, and your busy schedules. And you've watched a video I've uploaded. It truly means a lot to me. And, oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking to, it's hot tonight. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And have a great day, great night, great weekend, whenever you happen to be watching. And we'll chat again real soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.